Hi, everybody. It's Chris Swataka with Chris Swataka Ministries and the singlesnetwork.org. I'm so excited to be able to use this incredible new software, Zoom, to be able to talk to you as well as introduce you to some people in my life that have helped me in ministry that are also doing ministry. So today, I just got a little short interview with Pastor Obie, who is a pastor at O'Fallon Baptist Church. And I think I did that wrong. I think it's First Baptist in O'Fallon, Illinois. And I just want you guys to meet him and hear a little bit about what he's doing in the middle of this crisis for his singles ministry, and also how is he preparing for Easter. So welcome, Pastor Obie.
Hey, thanks for having me. And, you're fibbing a little bit. You said I've helped you in the ministry, but I've been the benefactor. Knowing Chris Swataka is the blessing. So I appreciate you and all you do.
Well, thank you, Obie. So tell us a little bit about what you do at the church.
Yeah, so I have a lot of different roles. My primary role, though, is pastor to single adults and single young adults. So kind of split into two groups. We have our single young adults, which is anyone who is 18 to lower 30s, tend to be about 30. And then we have another group that is anyone else. And actually, our single young adults can even move up if they want. But so with those two groups, our single young adults, we usually our biggest thing. We do have Sunday morning small groups called life groups. But of course, those can't meet right now. So they're doing what we're doing, which is meeting on Zoom. But our biggest thing is our midweek, our Thursday night, which we call SYA night. And so before all of this, it's been just a really awesome thing to be part of, where we would feed them, and then we'd have worship, and it's young adult, young singles led worship. And then I bring a discussion message, and then they'd hang out afterwards. And sometimes they'd hang out till midnight. When it used to be at my house, they'd hang out till like 2. And I'd eventually say, look, you all have to leave. But I mean, it's fun to hang out with them, so much energy and excitement. And so now, because we can't do that, we're doing what we call SYA Night Live. And so what I've really tried to do is invest in my leaders, or just really call upon my leaders. And so we just, for instance, today sent out some Excel sheets of every guest that we've had in the last 6 months. And I've just asked my leaders, hey, guys, contact the guys, girls, contact the girls. Mark on there when you've contacted, just shoot them a text encouraging, see what prayer requests they have, and remind them that we have something going on still. So our SYA Night Live, it's a little like a table discussion, if you will, where we talk about different topics and examine a Bible passage. So we've been going through a dating series, and so we'll have some people video in through Zoom, but others we'll have in the studio. We'll keep that number low to keep in line with all the mandates. But it's been a lot of fun, and that's on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And so just have really good time discussing. And the coolest part is we go live, and so we have interaction. We just encourage people to comment. And so we have one guy, Michael Butler, he'll just sit there. His role during the whole show is to read people's comments and bring up highlights and stuff, so that people are getting that connection. And then we're trying to do an after SYA Night Live after party, if you will, on Zoom. So we've just recently started that, so we're seeing how that works. Maybe play some games and stuff.
So, which leads, that's really good that you're having what you're having. I know some of one of the things I was asked earlier is that some singles, especially older singles, are a little challenged with some of the software, and they're having to learn it, and makes it more difficult, which if they don't figure out how to use it, it isolates them even more. But you're wanting to stay connected. You're asking your leaders to contact people. You're continuing that discipleship. But what are some of the things that you saw that was happening right away with your singles? What were some of the phone calls you were getting, some of the struggles, and has this Thursday night, the way you've set it up, has it been able to help in those problems?
So help, there's no replacement for the real thing, right? We can't replace the fact that we're made for relationship, that God designed us for relationship, even the most introverted. And I consider myself to be on the introverted side. Not that I'm intimidated by people. I just kind of like my space. I just do. but I need people. And so we can't 100% replace that. And that's the first thing that I've heard in text messages and things is people send out to me, man, I miss our fellowship. Man, I miss my people. I miss hanging out with our people. And so, this SY Night Live is trying to do that. It's trying to continue to feed scripture to them and give them an opportunity to talk about Bible concepts and stuff. And then that's why we're trying to do this game thing so that they can still have a little bit of pouring in. So I think there's some optimism that we're doing things, trying things. And so I guess that's what I would encourage people to do is don't take this time to feed your reclusive habits as I have often. Take this time to intentionally seek out people. One thing that I've encouraged different leaders to do is, and I actually say it on my SY Night Live sometimes, is look for other people to care for during this time, right? Look for someone else to serve, whatever that might look like. It may, we may think, oh, well, I need to volunteer in the children's ministry, or, that's kind of what we think of when we think of serving. Well, we have that right now. But what you still have are people out there who may be feeling just as isolated as you. Pick up the phone, call them, shoot them a text, contact people, say, hey, do you have prayer requests that I can pray for? And pray for them right then. Not just, later when I have my private time with God. No, right then. Pray for them. And then
it's going to take us into a different way of using our gifts. We're having to rethink, I have this particular type of gift. How can I still use it? So if your gift is hospitality, maybe it is carrying some groceries and leaving it in someone's driveway. And that's still the gift of hospitality. If you have the gift of leadership, how can I train others to be able to make phone calls? I have a little cousin that I disciple, and we talked about Lent and giving up something and what it means as we lead up to Easter on Sunday. And I challenged her to give up something. And she's thinking. And I said, well, can you give up Instagram? And she's like, I don't think so. And I said, but how about this? How about you give up some of your time and replace it with contacting people you would normally not contact? And so that's one of the things I've been challenging singles is who is on that list? Now, there's people on that list that are sporadic when they were attending church. They're sporadic in when they get there, what they say. Can we try something different? Because we need to leave this experience. We get through this crisis, right, Obie? We need to leave differently.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And one thing I think of is as your ministries, as they do something, it may not be everything that you wish it were, but as they do something, participate and then share it. So one thing that I think would be cool, and what I've actually seen with my single adults, which is the older group, not the young singles, is we've had numerous guests, and which is just, we haven't had that in our regular meetings as often, but we've had numerous guests reach out to us on the internet. And so here's what I would say is it is a new world right now, and you may reach people that otherwise you would have never reached. Yes. And so, man, the mission of God, the gospel has not stopped. Right. We may have to do it different, but it hasn't stopped. So imagine this may be the easiest time you've ever had in sharing the gospel. If your ministry has something that presents the gospel and you click the share button, it may be that easy and someone hears the gospel for the first time. And because people may be social media challenged, sometimes tech challenged, let me just give you this bit of advice or insight into social media. Every interaction you have with a ministry's social media, whether you comment, share, whatever, it increases the footprint. It increases the reach. Now someone else sees it, or hundreds of other people, and then maybe they interact. And so when you interact, and that's what I encourage you to do, when you interact, you help spread the message. You help spread the ministry. And that's ultimately still the same goal as reaching people. Even when we have to social distance by mandate, then you could still reach people. You can still care for people and make sure the gospel is reaching their doors.
So two things, and we're going to go ahead and end this great little session. We could talk about this all day, I think, Obie. Mm-hmm. One is give us the web address for the singles ministries, how they can find you.
All right. So we are on firstbaptistofallon.org, fbcofallon.org. And really, if you go there, we'll have a FBC. We've kind of made our website where it's very web friendly now, or saying, hey, we mainly do all of our stuff online. So you'll see a banner at the top. And so depending on whether you're a single adult or you're a single young adult, whichever you'd like to connect with, then you could go to, you'll see that on the page. There's a single adult option, the single young adult. So fbcofallon.org is our church's website, and that's where you can find us the easiest.
Awesome. And I'll post it also at the end of this interview so people can connect as well. And the last thing, Obie, if you could say one thing to people as they're preparing in the last few days up to Easter, single or married, anybody that might be watching this, what would you want to tell them?
I guess I would say, kind of echo what we've been discussing is, don't let seclusion become your habit. You may have to be more intentional than you've ever been about connecting with people and caring about people. And you may not be able to care about them in the ways that you have in the past. It may have to be a new and different way. And it may be as simple as a text message. So as Easter approaches, Jesus is still risen. And so we still celebrate that, and we still have that mission. And so our mission hasn't stopped. Loving people hasn't stopped. And the needs that you feel, someone else feels those needs too. And so maybe you'll be able to fill those. And I'll say this too, our SYA Night Live, while that is young singles focused, we've had a lot of our single adults watch that too. And so I would really invite anybody, because we're going to be talking about all sorts of different stuff that's really applicable. We've even had married people watch it. And so I would encourage people to watch that too. And that's fbcofallon.org/SYA night. And that's the easiest way to find it.
And so just so you guys know, I mean, maybe your church, maybe your singles ministry, a meetup group, Facebook group, and would like to do something similar to what Pastor Obie is doing with his singles, but not really sure how to do it. Definitely check out his site, kind of see what he's doing. And it may literally change someone's life. And we just want to encourage you to stay connected, because we know it's what the enemy's goal is, to keep us not connected. So thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate you. And we just pray that you have an amazing Easter. Bye. Thanks, Obie.
Thanks for having me, Chris. See ya.